Rising from the ashes. A journey of resilience and hope. In a world still scarred by the aftermath of a devastating global disaster, a group of survivors found strength in each other and created a support network that would become a source of inspiration for all those who crossed their path. They were the embodiment of human resilience, demonstrating that even in the darkest times, the human spirit could soar above adversity. Part 1: The Dawn of Desolation. The sun had set on a world once brimming with life and vitality. The disaster had struck with unrelenting force, taking everything in its path. Cities were reduced to rubble, once lush landscapes turned barren, and the sky, a perpetual shade of gray. Among the survivors who emerged from the rubble, it was clear that this new world required a different kind of strength. The traditional support systems were gone, and people had to rely on each other. One such survivor was Rebecca, a woman in her mid-30s, who had lost her family, home, and sense of purpose. The disaster had left her emotionally scarred, and she found it difficult to find meaning in this desolate world. One day, while scavenging for supplies, she crossed paths with Michael, a man of similar age who had also lost his family. Michael's eyes met Rebecca's as they both reached for a can of preserved food in the ruins of a grocery store. There was a moment of hesitation, but then they decided to share the can. As they sat on a pile of rubble, eating in silence, they realized that they were not alone in their struggles. Both had experienced the same overwhelming loss and grief. They decided to stick together as they navigated this new world. Their partnership was more than just a survival strategy, it was the spark of hope they needed. They began searching for others like them, people who had lost everything and were trying to piece their lives back together. Part 2: The Birth of a Support Group. As the days turned into weeks and then months, Rebecca and Michael's group grew. It wasn't just about sharing food or shelter, it was about sharing stories, fears, and dreams. They formed a tight, knit community, helping each other heal emotionally as much as they helped each other survive physically. They would sit around a campfire in the evenings, each member taking turns to share their experiences and feelings. The group included people of all ages and backgrounds, each with a unique story of loss and resilience. There was Tom, an elderly man who had lost his wife but found a sense of family within the group. Maria, a teenager who had lost her parents and her sense of security but had found mentorship from Rebecca and Michael. The group soon realized that their emotional support was as crucial as their shared resources. They helped each other cope with trauma and grief. Rebecca, Michael, and others took turns leading discussions on topics like coping with loss and finding hope in darkness. Through these conversations, they discovered that resilience was not a fixed trait but something that could be nurtured and strengthened. Part 3: The Pursuit of Purpose. As time passed, the group faced new challenges. They decided to move to a more remote area where they could build a sustainable community. There, they began farming and constructing simple shelters. The act of creating something new helped everyone find a renewed sense of purpose. Tom, who had been a successful businessman in his previous life, used his skills to manage the group's resources and plan for the future. Maria became an avid learner, soaking up knowledge from the surviving books and passing it on to the children. The group started to call her the storyteller. As the community grew, they found more survivors and welcomed them with open arms. The support group became a place for those who had lost everything to regain a sense of belonging. They shared their skills and knowledge, creating a thriving microcosm of the world that once was. The group learned to adapt to their harsh environment, embracing sustainable practices and embracing a simpler way of life. They discovered that, even in the face of unimaginable adversity, there was beauty in simplicity and unity. Part 4: A Beacon of Hope. Word of the resilient community in the remote area spread. Other survivors, struggling to find meaning and hope in their lives, began making the arduous journey to join the group. The support group grew into a small village, a beacon of hope in a world still recovering from the disaster. The village, now self-sustaining, continued to hold support group sessions. They no longer had to discuss immediate survival but focused on long-term resilience. They explored the meaning of life, personal growth, and the importance of compassion and connection in a world forever changed. Rebecca and Michael, who had once been two lonely survivors, now stood at the forefront of a thriving community, inspiring others with their journey of resilience. They had not only survived the disaster but had thrived in its aftermath. The support group had become a symbol of hope for the world. Survivors from near and far came to learn from their experiences. Rebecca and Michael, with tears in their eyes, realized that their work was not done. They began teaching others to nurture resilience, heal from trauma, and find purpose in the face of adversity. Part 5: The Legacy of Resilience. In the years that followed, the world slowly began to heal. The disaster's scars remained, but they were no longer as deep. The support group, now a thriving community, continued to inspire people across the globe. Rebecca and Michael, who had once been two strangers brought together by tragedy, had built a legacy of resilience and hope that transcended generations. The tale of the support group for survivors of a global disaster showed that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit could rise from the ashes, stronger and more resilient than ever. They proved that, with the support of a community, the pursuit of purpose, and the power of resilience, people could overcome even the most daunting challenges and create a world filled with hope, compassion, and love. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Please hit the like button if you like this video, and hit the subscribe button to learn English through watching these kinds of interesting stories daily. Please click on the screen on any video showing on your screen to watch it next. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video till the end.